Hey guys, how's it going? Owner here. Welcome back to another F1 2014 video. This time getting ready for the Grand Prix here in Sochi Autodrome something, I think. And we are getting strapped into our Toro Rosso now once again for the race. So a very wet race indeed. Dry qualifying as we see the setup here. But the race is definitely wet and there's 100% chance of rain in this race. So one stop if we keep it on wet, at least that's what the prediction is according to that little menu there. Mercedes front row lockout, no surprises there. And then our teammate there in 5th with a good qualifying, and we are in 10th. Managed to get into Q3 but not really a good lap, managed to get a good lap in Q3. Anyway, we're on the starting line, so lights are coming on. Remember, we are in the rain AIS traction control, so it wouldn't surprise me if we lose a few positions at the start. Lights are out. And here we go, off the line then. Currently still in 10th. We get a warning for illegal walking there. No idea how that came there. And indeed, look at this. The AI absolutely flying past. He already lost 7 positions on the starting line. That's completely mad as we head down into turn 1. Obviously looking to get a few positions back. His brake very late, hitting Bottas there. And that is actually a big mistake by me, but to be honest, yeah, I was really slow on the apex, so yeah, no damage, not a lot of harm done, so I guess it's good to continue. This was my first experience with the rain around this track, and I must say it was really slippery as we go on the inside of Bottas. He was quite careful there. A little bit of a McLaren battle up front now with Button and Magnussen. Let's see, I can't see anything because of the spray, and then all of a sudden AI once again braking very early. I don't know whether there was any contact with Bottas, but it doesn't really matter all that much because we got passed, I would say cleanly, but again the AI is just braking quite early in the first couple of corners of the opening lap. But you know that as a driver, you know that they always brake very early in the first couple of corners, so you can also get prepared for it and stuff. But after that they pick up the pace, and the time they pick up the pace is about here, because look at Alonso right now ahead, straight away putting a gap to us of, well, what is it, 1 point, maybe even 2.2 I'm gonna go with. That already looks like an extremely big gap, and it is in fact 2.7, so that's indeed a really big gap he just put away from me, and that in one sector alone. So bear in mind that, well, we weren't looking too bad on this track, that's for sure. But I do think that the rain is not playing into our advantage, because we've seen it many times before during the career mode that the rain, we are not good in the rain. Reason for that is probably that, well, maybe we are good in the rain, but the AI is just magnificent. I mean, it has the traction control, and you really do need that, because over here you can just hear it as well. I'm trying to find the right balance between too much throttle and being not so much on the throttle, but it's so hard to find that balance, especially in rain conditions like this. As we see Button behind though, going on the inside for turn 1. We need to defend this. Cannot let him pass me, so I brake late, missing my apex completely. Able to keep it on the track, but most importantly stayed ahead of Button, and in fact somehow gained a bit of time on Button. So this is turn 3 I think, or turn 4, I'm not sure. And look how wide I have to go, because if I stick to the inside, the rear end is just going to get loose, and it will not be the quicker line. AI, on the other hand, doesn't have that disadvantage because they have traction control. So it's a big advantage. As we skip to lap 7, nothing happened. But I do think though that the rain is just, it's not helping us, that's for sure. Looking on the minimap, we can see our teammate in a little bit of a battle, but that battle is though going on way ahead of us. I mean, the gap is enormous after 7 laps only. We will have a look here what the gap exactly is. It's 20 seconds, and that in 7 laps time. That's a lot, and that says something about our pace as well, because it's just it's just not great, and I could not get the flow. I couldn't get the swing going. Again, you can see me there missing the apex slightly. I'm just not feeling at home in these rain conditions, as we just heard our engineer saying, and Nico referring to Hulkenberg, obviously our teammate, is out of the race. That gave me a position. It's not good for the constructors, but it's good personally for us, because if he was still driving, he would have definitely beaten us. My approach for this first stint was to keep it a little bit calm as well. Don't demand too much from the rear tires, But at the same time, you could see on that graphic which came up during that straight, that the rear tires are well, degrading quite heavily compared to the fronts. Even though I'm trying to be careful on the rears, because at the moment I am not really pushing out that much. But at the same time, you know, I'm definitely not cruising either. But you know, I'm trying to look after those rear tires, because maybe, you know, maybe this race is going to be a one-stop, and I don't want it to be a marginal one-stop, preferably. 17.2 seconds to Raikkonen, so somehow we made up some time, but it might as well be due to the fact that our teammate had an engine failure. Something must have gone on there, or what? They didn't give a reason though, did they? So I don't know whether it's an engine failure. Might have also been an incident with Raikkonen. Radio message, 15 minutes until we will get a little bit lighter rain. And at that time, I just, you know, I honestly hope that it was a little bit less, because 15 minutes is still quite far away. We will be excuse me, we will be well, probably towards the end of the race at that time. So it's definitely not looking good here as well. You can see just oversteering the whole time. The revs are going up. I cannot find the grip on the rear at all. And I can tell you that I was definitely not flat out there. I was not. It was like 60-70% throttle maybe, but still the rear end just keeps wheel spinning. It's unbelievable, really. 70 seconds to Massa up ahead. Don't know whether he pitted already, but it's currently lap 11. So in about 2 laps time we should be going in if it's a one stop, but it will probably not be a one stop, because it is going to dry up a little bit soon, as we have heard from the engineer. I don't think it will be fully dry for the remainder of this race, but certainly the weather is going to clear up at least a little bit, which well, probably says that we will run intermediate tires towards the end of the race. But we still need to see that as well. Tire wear there on the right hand side, not too bad. I could actually keep on going if I want to, but I'm also trying to calculate when the rain starts to fall down a little bit less, and then from there onwards I'll calculate when I need to pit again, because obviously we still need to go to the full wet once again, because it's just way too wet to go to the Inters right now. You can see, looking at the skies, it's a little bit brighter than it was before, but nothing too major though. The rain is still pouring down, and it will take quite some time for the track to dry up. In fact, look at that off the racing line, so much wheel spin. Then we enter the pit lane, and so lap 11, I've had enough of this, entering the pit lane. And if we do the same amount of laps as this first stint, it should mean that we will pit in lap 22. And that's about right, I would say. We think, or I at this moment was thinking that around lap 20-22 it would be time for intermediate to come in and play a role in this race. 3.7 pit stop, so that's standard obviously. Good job though from our Force India team. And very long pit lane here actually. Well, this is the pit lane right now. And out of the pit lane we go. Let's see where we reach. Bottas just went by. Went with quite an early pit stop then. Can we stay ahead of Chilton? That's the question. Yes, we can easily. But Bottas currently ahead of us. And look at that, actually. Bottas is in a little bit of traffic. I can see a Toro Rosso, I believe. But certainly Bottas currently in traffic. We are now on new tires while Bottas is in traffic. Remember, this is for position now with Bottas. He pitted earlier than us. This is for a position. Why not go for it? You know, push very, very hard right now, as I might have cut that corner. Maybe extended as well, a little bit dirty, but we'll get away with it for once, obviously. 2 seconds to get up to Bottas, but Bottas visually, you can see it, is just being heavily held up right now by the guys ahead of him. So this was the time for me to push, show that I had some pace at least, even though it was quite hard. I'm not gonna lie. I just, for the whole race, really, I couldn't find the right swing and the right flow. It was incredibly hard to find, but at the same time, you know, you compare yourself to the cars around you, and the cars around me, let's be honest, are just much quicker than I am at the moment. So obviously when you compare it to others, it's never good. But personally, I don't feel like I could do anything more than what I'm currently doing in terms of driving. That's how tough it really is in the rain conditions. 2.4 to Bottas. I think we lost a little bit. That's not good, obviously. So we need to keep this up if we really want to have a shot at taking another position in this race. Coming through in this very tight section. This is very important actually. You need to open up this corner a little bit, but at the same time you don't want to sacrifice the left-hander too much, but it's a very tight left-hander, that's for sure. 90-degree left-hander in fact. And then we come up to this very tight right-hander after that as well. As I said, you want to position yourself for that right-hander, but at the same time don't sacrifice the exit too much with that left-hander. Gain a lot of time on Bottas there, 1.2 seconds. Is there anyone in the pit? No, there isn't. So we are still in P20 then, but loads of people still ahead of us who are going to pit. It will be interesting to see whether we can rejoin in front of the people we were in front of before we pitted, but certainly they are going on quite long. And that also indicates that they have better tire wear than us, because at the moment I pitted, felt like tires were starting to fall off. I could have driven towards this lap, so lap 13, but I'm sure they would have gone off quite quickly, and I would be somewhere around the cliff right now. So yet again, you can see me there. I just turned it too early there. I had to step with the wheel once, because these tires do provide quite a bit more grip than those old worn tires we were on before. Look at that, even hitting the sausage curb there. So quite good from that now, quite pointy, quite sharp, good turn in. So we go through the second sector, very flowing second sector. You can see me there now, hitting the apex a little bit as well. This is going better and better. And there again, that was okay-ish, could have been better though. And just slowly getting on the power, build up that power. You can also hear it. Just listen sometimes to the engine on the corner exits. It's just slowly build it up, because if you go flat out straight away, it's not gonna work. It really won't. Oh, look at this! At the end of the straight, I was listening to the engineer. 5 minutes until it gets a little bit drier, but the AI in the battle is certainly holding each other up. I'm in front of Kvyat, or Kvyat rather, and Bottas behind. Bottas being the loser of that really, was actually attacking Kvyat, I think, and just massively slowing. Now it was more or less an avoiding move I did there, trying to avoid the cars ahead, but it turned out to be an excellent overtaking maneuver. In fact, it's quite interesting what happened there with the eye. Finding myself right now behind Vern, who is yet to stop, I believe. We see some cars in the pit lane. Yes, we do. Button is certainly in the pit lane, so it will be interesting to see where we can end up in terms of position on Button. But Button is currently behind us. We overtake Vern easily down the straight here with slipstream. Can I slow it down from first corner? Yes, I can. It's actually the second corner, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's the second corner. Finding ourselves now in P12, but we should climb a few more positions. People are still yet to pit. For example, Ericsson right now, as you can see on the right hand side, is going into the pit lane then. But back to that move though, it was a rather interesting move at the end of that straight. And then they just braked so early because they were in a battle. And it, well, as I said, firstly I thought it was going to be an avoiding maneuver, but it turned out to be an overtaking maneuver. But I'll take it. I think it was fairly clean, so I won't complain too much. And now, after the pit stop phase, I think everyone has pitted now. We find Raikkonen again ahead of us, but in position 8. Not too bad. In fact, we actually climbed a position because of Bottas, I believe. And that is something I did not expect. You know, I thought the maximum would have been P9 for the before the pit stop, because you know I just couldn't. I felt like I couldn't do anything more than I already did. The maximum was just P8 or P9. So currently extracting really everything there is and everything that I've got as well. We skipped to lap 25, so nothing interesting happened really in the last couple of laps, and we have a huge gap to Massa. Look at the minimap. I mean, I'm laughing, but it is honestly quite embarrassing. It also says something about our race, you know. And to finish in P8, as I said, is probably even more than the maximum I could have done, probably. During the race, yes, I had some threats from the AI, but they never really were brave enough to pull it alongside me for the second corner, for example. I go on the inside. There you saw it again, Magnussen in the mirror, having a little look, but then they decide to back out of it so quickly and so easily that they don't put up much of a challenge for you. And we look again in the mirror and we see a Mercedes behind. So I think the last time we got lapped was in a Toro Rosso. We went to Force India in one season time, and for the first time again I'm going to get lapped, and honestly this is extremely painful. Need to do it in a little bit of a clever way, going out of the way for Hamilton probably right now. There we go, getting out of the way for Hamilton nicely. Then get on the power now, because I don't want Magnussen behind to overtake me. It's actually Rosberg. And oh, there goes Magnussen by actually. Wow, Magnussen being quite aggressive there. but I managed to take him back around the outside. See, the AI just, it lacks bravery, I think, sometimes. Just, it can go alongside you, but it's not brave enough to keep it on your inside, for example. This is quite a shame to see, because obviously it will make races such as this one incredibly boring and also easy to defend. But being lapped here is extremely painful by Rosberg, in fact, so it wasn't Hamilton. Rosberg was actually by me, and then I thought that he went a little bit slow by me, so I went off the throttle a little bit more. That allowed to Magnussen to close up as well. Obviously, because he had a huge slipstream advantage as well. He just put alongside, which was good. But then, as I have explained before, he just doesn't keep it on my inside. And this will be the final lap of the race then. I don't have to do 27 laps. 26 laps is enough, because we are lapped. Or we got lapped, rather. And so, a very painful race, but also a very interesting race. And a race to forget, that's for sure. And it again shows that we just don't have the pace in the rain conditions. Being lapped is so painful, and the gap to P7 as well was extremely big. We got lucky that our teammate didn't finish either.
You took 4 points. Congratulations. Well done.
The only positive I can take is that we beat our rival Button. He finished behind us actually, but you know, that's all I can take as a positive. Magnussen in the end had a DNF, so something happened to him in the last lap. Or the penultimate lap, I don't know. Nonetheless though, keeping 7th in the championship, our teammate in 12th, and it's actually 6th. So sorry for that. And people also asked me to show the constructors, so here we go. Currently in 4th, ahead of McLaren, but it's only 5 points. So that will be the main battle probably in the constructors championship. It's McLaren and us. And just a few more races to go. You saw me here being disappointed. And well, no, there are a lot of reasons to be disappointed, because this race was just not good enough in the rain conditions. As I said, I don't think I could have done personally more in terms of driving. The AI was just too quick in the wet conditions, and I'm actually pretty happy with that 8th place. I think that's more than the maximum. Nonetheless, it's a little bit of a boring race, so I apologize for that, but they also happen. I nonetheless hope that you have enjoyed the video. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. And you can see me here in the clippings that the people are also speculating our driver position for next year. Anyway, that's it. See you next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.